Hey, hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to Harmony Portal Tarot Live. Happy Woo Woo Wednesday. Yes, we are at our kind of amended time schedule today, just because Wrigley does have his first football game tonight after, or during, I should say, during our regularly scheduled Woo Woo Wednesday live stream. So, yes, we are here early. And finally, if you have not noticed by the title, we are going to be getting into one of our cosmic questions. We are, let's see, how many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 or 7. 7, I think. And I have enough paper here, maybe just a little bit here, to do like to write out one new question. And of course, we're going to draw a question. So basically, we're replacing what we're taking out, or maybe the question that is posed today will be the one drawn. Who knows? Who knows? But let's just give everybody a few minutes to get in here, check on in, let us know that you're here. Brianna's here. Hello. And so far we don't have any donations. So yeah, we may have a very quick live stream depending. Wonder if any of yours have been pulled. Haven't been here for every cosmic question. Let's just see. That's a Versha question. There's a Brianna question right there. So there's one. We have Amanda F. We have Kashfi. We have Jessica and a little ball of dog hair. That's not fun. And then one from Temptress the Enchantress. So there's one. If you've only submitted one, it's still in here. So hey, we may be doing it today. So yeah, I would say the first person, since my early squad, you guys are even before the notification squad. If any of you have a pressing cosmic question, feel free to put it in the chat. I'm gonna just take the first one today. Like literally, we'll just take the first one that's posed today. If we don't have any come in, we'll just replace it next time. Because we'll just get going. But yeah, oh, Linda's here, listening on speaker as I drive. Awesome, awesome. I ran out of my coffee, so we're having tea today. Very late in the day, I may add. I'm trying to fast, so we're doing our intermittent fasting journey, and this one here is doing that thing that it does, Always, always. All right, so yeah, check on in. Let us know that you're here. It says we have 5 people and 1 like on the video. If you feel so inclined to like the video, feel free. It always, does it really help? I don't know, but I don't know. It's just a fun thing to do. Earthy Davis here. Oh my God, Anna, it's been a minute since I've gotten to see you on a live stream. I hope you're doing well. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we'll probably wait till about the 5-minute mark, and I've let everyone know we got 5 people here. So the first person to post a question that will what's the word? Fulfill. It's not the word I was looking for. That will meet the criteria of our Cosmic Question Corner. The first one to post a cosmic question, we will write that down and put it in here before we draw today, just to add a new question here. I am doing well as well. Thank you so much for asking. I'm glad you're doing well as well. So the criteria for cosmic question is obviously not something like, is Bert into me? Will I get the job? I mean, those are very personal questions. Cosmic questions are, are aliens real? Or, if you have a specific conspiracy theory that you of course, with maybe potential having to walk around certain trigger words, we'll do our best. We were able to do a much better job over when I had my Patreon in diving in. Like every month we would dive into something, the death of this person, or what actually happened the night of the Titanic. That's probably one of my favorite ones that we did over there. So amazing. And it's still up there, but I don't think my Patreon is active anymore. I don't. Yeah, but anything like that, any kind of question like that, or if there's I'd say true crime would also kind of fit under this. Like if even a case that was quote unquote solved, like is that true? Is that real? But I guess if I don't have context for the specific case, I can only get downloads of, I get a lot of pictures or words, And if I don't know a lot of what's actually going on in a case or just even a baseline knowledge of what has been said, I can really only just throw out words and phrases, if that makes sense. Sometimes I'll get like names and stuff, but yeah, it's very interesting how that can play out. I know Katie actually just did a paid reading a few times, checking into a missing guy in her area. Um, yeah. Oh, Lady Di. Oh, the first that comes to mind. Yeah, we could read on that. Let's just see anything we need to know about the truth. Lady Diana, right? Is that who you're talking about there, Earthy Deva? That's the one I'm coming into awareness with anyway. Um, let's just see any truth or info on, yes, okay. The death of Lady Di. And this was submitted by Earthy Deva. Thank you so much for today's submission. Awesome, awesome. So we're at 6 minutes. So without further ado, we might as well add this to our 6 or 7 other questions and draw today's question and see what's going on and what information we can gather about the question at hand. Okay, here we go. And I'm not looking, I swear. I know it's a clear container, but this one. We're doing this one. Whatever this one is. Okay. This is from Temptress the Enchantress. And it says, are the Simpsons predictions real? Okay, that's the question today. Are the Simpsons predictions real? And maybe we can get other questions that we can ask with that, because it's a pretty quick yes or no, right? Where are my card decks? Let's see. What are we going to use? I might go out in my little area here because I don't think I have any decks that are really speaking to me for that question. Let me go look in my little closet out here for about 2 seconds, and I'll find a deck that kind of speaks to me for this question. We'll be right back. Right back. I grabbed the first one that I saw that my eyes landed on, and I already opened it. It's the Rainbow Moon Tarot. Very fun deck, and I haven't used it a lot, to be honest, but it's a fun deck. So, funny enough, it is kind of cartoony colors too. A little bit. Yeah. I love the like prism gilding on it. It's like prism. It's probably hard to see in this specific lighting because now it just looks silver, but it's like prism, like rainbow prism. It's really pretty. Really fun. Okay, we'll set that down here. So let's just ask right out of the gate. We'll ask, are the Simpson predictions real? And then we'll kind of just say, like, how are they getting their information? How, if it's a yes. If it's a no, we can just say, like, why do so many of them, come true or seem like you will put up, something like a clip from The Simpsons that happened years and years ago with like a news thing. Like there was one specifically that I don't watch The Simpsons. I've seen episodes here and there throughout my life, but probably haven't seen an episode at all in 25 years. Like it's not something I watch personally, but I hear, you hear things or you see things on social media about how they predicted this, that, and whatever. But I remember seeing a clip of it was specifically Donald Trump coming down an escalator. And then The Simpsons had actually had that exact thing years earlier, him pretty much wearing the same thing. Like the whole scene is exact. I'm like, how? Outside of going back in time and, or planning it, orchestrating it. All right. So we're just going to get down to brass tacks. Are the Simpson predictions real? Are they really predicting things? Okay, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot. Wow. Okay, so this is my stepping outside the matrix card. This is it. This is not what I was expecting. Not that I like had my mind made up or anything like that, but I'm thinking, oh yeah, however it is that they do things. This one landed on my seat. 7 of crystals. Yes, this is exactly what I was talking about. So I figured, there are a certain number of potentials or potentialities. Is that a word? I hope so, because I'm using it. This is basically about, you know, I mean, this is the patience card, but I'm getting a very 7 of cups energy, not just a 7 of pentacles energy. It's like they have scripted this, they've been in it for a long game as far as the Matrix being a scripted reality in a lot of ways. But but they did not take into account, or maybe they did, but realized this is just kind of if someone has the secret passcode, they could bypass it in some way, is what I'm getting. That there are actually writers or people that are influencing the writers that are getting true divine wisdom or guidance to share, not because we need to know that Donald Trump's going to come down an escalator or this specific thing or that specific thing, but just to prove that this is a matrix or like a simulated reality. Like it goes beyond the realm of coincidence or even like comprehension to our brain, that like how could they get so many things correct. It's because they do have some, not all, some of the people writing for this show do have a divine connection, and are wanting to kind of get the word out that, hey, you don't just have to settle for these outcomes, even though these predictions are coming true over and over and over again. There's something more to this. So let's see the two that fell to the floor. Slippery energy, and they're all in reverse. Wow, 2 threes. The 3 of cups, which is about, coming together, soul family, all that. But when it's in reverse, it's really giving, let's give everybody and they almost upwards or upright. It looks very like, yeah, we're partying, we're hanging out. They almost look like zombies in reverse, especially the guy in blue. He's kind of tilting his head to the side like, it's almost, what I'm getting from this card is like hypnotism, or you're being influenced. It's very subconscious though. There's a subconscious influence that is actually being overridden by some divine force. Even if that's just a ghost in the machine or a wrench in the matrix, the gears of the matrix, that's a true spirit that's working behind the scenes for this show, or has given input in some way to let people know, hey, it's just a little too close for comfort. That so many of these things are coming true. Like start questioning things. Like wake up, wake up. So it's really giving wake up from the illusion, or wake up from the hypnosis is what's real. I did not expect any of this, you guys. This is amazing. So then the 3 of wands, which is about, okay, we are predictive programming, as they call it. So we show you something like Donald Trump coming down the escalator. That's the only one I can think about the top of my head. I know there are many more prominent examples of this, but we'll show you this years in advance and then it will happen. But it's almost like getting this collective permission slip from us creator spirits to allow that to happen. Because when we are, this is the thing. Okay, so maybe not to the extreme, but you're watching a thriller or a scary movie in some way. Your body is physically reacting. Your brain is taking this information in. And yes, there's probably a small part of your consciousness that understands, okay, this is just a TV show, this isn't real. Versus when you're actually in it, I'm sure the adrenaline would be much higher, but you're still getting, it's almost like you're, like a visualization. When you're visualizing something, you can actually manifest through visualization if you are intent enough or connecting to it with your spirit enough. But the fact that this came out in reverse is you can kind of bypass or trip the system as far as you being the one influencing or them harvesting or harnessing your attention to make certain realities a reality, is really what's coming through here. Wow. And then the 10 of cups came out in reverse. So it's almost, again, upright. 10 of cups is like emotional connection. This is meant to really emotionally disconnect, or not the sentence itself, but some of these agendas or things that are maybe being shown. I even remember, back when I think I was around second or third grade, maybe first grade, but I remember hearing about it and wearing like the Bart Simpson t-shirts in second and third grade. And then after that, like a lot of kids were just kind of over it. But even back then, like there was some really controversial. I mean, it wasn't like Beavis and Butthead or even Ren and Stimpy could be kind of controversial. It was more of a subtle controversial. Like, should kids really be watching that? And even some of the things Bart or the other characters would say, had like sexual connotations and that kind of stuff that just went over kids' head. But then you think back about it as an adult, you're like, wait a second. So what I'm getting here is a lot of maybe the agendas that are being pushed. It's about almost like looping. Truth hidden in plain sight, but I keep seeing a loop. like a closed loop, like you can't get out. And I want to say there was a Simpsons movie. I think it was a movie, not just an episode, where they actually had a dome over over the town. Um, I don't remember much else about it, but I'm almost reading this rainbow here as a dome to enclose consciousness, to enclose um, knowing that you have a greater connection. Because again, this came out in reverse of keeping people contained without allowing them. Again, it's not like a TV show can do all this on its own. It's a lot of uninformed consent that we're giving it. But especially those of you watching now, so many of you, even just more in just doing your own shadow work and stuff, have kind of revoked any unconsented consents from the past, is really what's coming through. So let's catch up on some of your comments about all of this. Very interesting. Add to the question, what predictions apply to our now moment and which episode should we revisit for clarity? Okay. And again, this is one where I may not have seen, because again, I haven't seen an episode of this in many years. I did see, I think that it was the Simpsons movie. I think there was a pig in it. Something like Spider Pig, Spider Pig. That's coming to my mind. Um, okay. So there's a lot of stuff hidden in that specifically, is what's coming through. That the movie itself is giving you a lot of downloads, a lot of information that someone that was connected to their spirit planted little Easter eggs in here. And there may be more covert Easter eggs and more overt Easter eggs. You know, I mean, the dome over the town is very overt. Like you can see it. It's all over the place. It's like it hits you in the face. It's a big part of the plot, if I remember correctly. That the movie specifically, because they went to the trouble to make it an actual movie. And oh, I shouldn't have moved, but the card just landed between my leg and the chair like this. It was held up like this. And look, it's the magician. So what I'm getting from that is every single one. And especially the ones that you personally have seen or heard about, or it come, you know, maybe in the future, because now we're talking about this. If your phone is listening, it's listening, right? One that comes across your feed, your awareness, or one that you've already looked into or investigated or thought about or seen yourselves, because the relevancy is going to differ between viewer or person, is what's really coming through here. It's like custom tailored to your consciousness, which it's almost like every person, you know, you can make every, you know, gun to your head, every person in the world has to read Lord of the Rings. I don't know, just the first book. I think there's many. I still have not read it myself. But every single person that reads that book is going to picture and visualize the characters, even if the author goes to extremes to exactly tell you what they want you to think this character looks like. You're going to take your lived experience, your past lives, just your sensory information, and your personality is going to twist or kind of create your own version of this character. Or a setting, or you know, it may really move and impact one person, and then another person may be like, that was total trash, I will never read the other books in this series. Like, I'm just saying, you know, people are going to have their opinions. So that's kind of what's coming through, is something that seems very obvious to you. And look at her eyes. It's like she is locked in, like she is seeing what's going on, not just in a physical way, but in a ethereal way or etheric way. You're seeing beyond illusions. So especially those of you that, you know, if you see a Simpsons prediction, or maybe you're going on YouTube or Googling Simpsons predictive programming or Simpsons predictions that came true, and any of those that you're watching kind of like stick out to you, like, I need to pay attention to this, or you know, you get chills or whatever the case may be, or maybe none of them really stick with you, and that's fine too. Maybe it's just not relevant to your specific life, is really what's going on. But let's just see, for the kind of greater humanity, if there are any other specific episodes or just any clues we can get that we should revisit for clarity. Okay, there are 3 cards. So I'm just going to say this is what happens in the episode. Again, there are like, what, 30 seasons plus at this point? I don't even know. I could Google how many seasons. I'm going to read this as a story, and this is what's going on in the episode. Okay. Okay. And again, I have not a lot of context because I haven't seen it in many years. How many seasons of The Simpsons? And even, like, the theme song changes every time, and I'm saying or I'm hearing that, some of those are very telling or telling you something. 36 seasons, holy cow, I'm old. Oh, wow, okay, okay, so, yeah, I was about 36, so 4 yeah, I was 7 when that show came out, so, yeah, 2nd grade, like I thought. Wow, I'm old. Okay, that was 36 years ago, how? Okay. Okay, very interesting. So I'm seeing an episode. I'm getting feminine vibes from this card, even though it's very androgynous. So I'm gonna say Lisa is the main character of at least part of this episode. I've chills where she is playing a judge. We got the she's I mean, it's the 6 of crystals, 6 of pentacles, where she's basically having to act as a judge. And then there's an ending to something. This it doesn't feel like a literal death. That would be more of, of course, the death card, but more like a 10 of swords. So this is more of an ending of you can't continue to do something, not your life ending or someone's life ending, but someone is no longer allowed to do something. So now for fun, let's play it back. Let's just see if there's an episode where Lisa is a judge and the context. Because again, I don't have any context. I'm just literally reading the cards and we're going to see what happens. So Lisa Simpson judge episode. If there is such a thing, I don't even know, but it'll hopefully give us the closest thing if there's not. Okay, so of course AI has to put its 2 cents at the top, but I don't care to see that. Um, One Angry Lisa. This is aired in 2022. So the 2nd episode of season 34 and the 730th episode overall. Lisa has her statements to object to the judge. Let's see. But then there's another one that says, "Judge me tender." And so there may be multiple episodes where it feels to me like Lisa is judging something, specifically Lisa. So it's not her pleading to a judge. It's more her, let's just see, "Judge me tender." Let's look that one up. Judge me tender. Oh, now my nose is itching. Lisa Simpson. Okay. All right. So this is season 21, so the season before that one. So it's American Idol host Ryan Seacrest, judges Simon Cowell. Could be something like that. Let's see. Oh, that would make sense because you're judged and then someone can't move forward potentially. Let's see. Judge Lisa. Let's just see if Judge Lisa comes up. Well, Lisa Simpson, because I'm getting all sorts of, what is this? Dun, dun, dun. Well, there is one where she looks like kind of like Hillary Clinton, or maybe she's like the president. Yeah, very interesting. I don't know what episode. I was just looking at images just to see if anything popped up, and I did see her there. But it says episode 20, but I don't know of what season. Yeah, but there's an episode where Lisa is an acting judge of some sort to bring balance, justice, fairness about something that allows someone that they have to stop doing something or they're not allowed to continue doing something. That's important to look into. Again, I don't know. I have no context for the show, really, personally. I mean, I know who the characters are because they never age, they never change, they always wear the same thing. I get that. But as far as the comings and goings and ins and outs and the political statements that the show's trying to make, I don't even know anymore because I don't watch it. So I don't know. Let's see. I might have to step out later, but I left a donation for later should I not be here. Perfect. I can timestamp that for you, Anna, no problem. I'd also like to suggest another cosmic question. Oh, for sure. We can totally do that. Let's just see if there's anything else we need to know about the predictive element of The Simpsons. Just anything us, our little group here, or those watching the replay potentially need to know about the predictive element of The Simpsons. Anything at all. Anything we need to know. 3 things want to come out, or 4 things in this order is what I'm hearing. Oh, then I just had a whole bunch fall off the top as well. We'll look at those, but they don't necessarily have to do. So Chancellor of Crystals. So this is the King of Pentacles. So there's definitely some power or something going on where people want you to see these things. There's an intention behind. This is not just entertainment. There is an agenda here. That is very clear. Next up, 2 of Wands. Again, depending on your level of consciousness, you're going to get something completely different than just, I just heard the proles, and which I think that is from the book 1984, just the common folk or the zombies or the sheeple or, whatever people want to call unawakened, or more like people just going through the motions of life. People with a higher consciousness get a completely different message, or they get deeper layers of a very surface level message. 8 of Wands, they move pretty swiftly, which is interesting for a show that's been on for 36 seasons. You would think, yes, they are very definitely much in it for the long game, and a lot of the same people have been involved since the beginning. Not just talking voice actors, but like writers, the creator, all of this stuff. Weirdly, I just heard the creator's name. I think it's like Matt Groening or something like that. And then I saw Will Wright, who actually created the Sims game. I know Sims and Simpsons kind of sound, but Matt Groening and Will Wright, those names don't even sound similar, but somehow they're connected. I don't know if they know each other or if, I don't know. I don't know what the connection is between the creator of the Sims games, Will Wright, and the Simpsons. I don't know. But there's some, maybe it's just showing me that as in like, yes, it's letting you know we're in a simulation. It could just be that. I thought I had another card. Well, these all fell to the floor, and then this one stood out on its own on the floor. Again, 2 of Crystals, 2 of Pentacles. This is about, which side are you on? And it's a very balanced, but look how magical. It's giving the infinity symbol or the number 8, which is harkening back to that Magician card we got earlier, which I already put away. Now I just dropped the King of Pentacles, which we got earlier. So that lets you know the mighty shall fall is what I just heard. Or those who are in power or who have some sort of agenda that's negative, they're coming down. They're going down. Or their misdeeds will be known somehow. Because I'm hearing it's not even them that is orchestrating or keeping this running. They have directions from the top, whatever that looks like, off planet, entities controlling the puppets here on Earth is more what that's giving than it just being these people just deciding to have this one evil villain. Like they have that evil villain that's, I think, based on one of the Rothschilds or one of those, Rockefeller maybe. I always get those mixed up, Rockefeller, Rothschild. The guy, what's his name? Burns, Mr. Burns, with his little his little sidekick Smithers, I think is his name, if I remember correctly. So then we have the sun. Okay, so there's something about the solar activity that they may be telling. So that could be another way that information is coming through if they talk about the sun in any way on an episode. Kind of going back to Brianna's moments or episodes which to revisit for clarity. Anything where they talk about the sun or effects of the sun or something about the sun, literally the sun. Funny enough, when I put it back, the 10 of Wands went back in, but I put it in reverse. So whatever was going on with Lisa, that episode with Lisa, it was overturned, could be overturned somehow. Ace of Crystals. So this is about the Ace of Pentacles, which is about a new beginning or planting seeds. They're planting seeds for your consciousness to then grow. But is your consciousness going to grow it? Or Four of Pentacles is the most, the card of dichotomy in the whole deck, for me personally anyway. I'm going to pull a clarifier on this, but we also have the Ace of Cups. So they are looking to hook into emotions, or their agendas or these specific clips that are predicting are looking to emotionally engage and entangle is what I'm hearing, and infuse. I heard the word infuse, like you infuse something with energy, but then I saw like a little those one of those like black cartoon bombs with the fuse lit and it's gonna blow. Whatever that means. I mean, we are talking about a cartoon, so it makes sense. Um, let's get a clarifier on this four of crystals because this could be that the seeds they're planting, people are becoming too aware and they're starting to almost go into an episode, a new episode, like with their detective hat on and their notebook and pen, ready to write down clues. That's what this is. But we're going to get a clarifier on this card just to see what we need to know about this four of crystals. I just heard keeping things close to the chest, or maybe they're not going to be so overt with it. And then we have the Warden of Daggers. I think this is the Knight, well, definitely the Knight of Swords. So, the Knight of Swords energy can be sloppy. It is about communicating something, but it can be very sloppy in its approach. So going back, because it's clarifying this Four of Pentacles, keeping things close to the chest, that's what they should do. Be more covert rather than overt with their subliminal messaging or their predictive programming. They're gonna lose. I just heard they lost the plot. No pun intended. We're talking about plots of a TV show, but they've lost the plot as far as they don't know how much or how little to divulge and it still be able to land, but them not get called out for what they're doing. At this point, they know people are on to them and they keep doing it. They're gonna somehow, lose the plot. Oh, maybe lose the plot is the show's gonna be canceled because they figure not that they have run out of plot lines and storylines they want to feed us, but because, hey, they're on to us. It could be something like that. Let me just Google if The Simpsons has been canceled. I mean, you never know. You never know. Is The Simpsons canceled? I don't know why I always have to sing it. No, it has not been canceled. In fact, it was recently renewed for another 4 seasons, which will extend the show through its 40th season, expected to air by 2029. This significant extension ensures The Simpsons will remain on Fox and is a testament to the show's continued popularity. Oh, popularity, but I said polarity, didn't I? And profitability. Let's just see if for some reason this 4-year renewed contract is not going through. I'm going to use a fresh deck because I have a lot of cards out in this one. I don't want to put them back right this second. Let's go to the Wake Me Up Tarot. Let's just see if somehow, some way, this will be canceled before the end of this next contract of 2029. It's done. It's going to be done before they say. Wow. Okay, you heard it here first. There's a decision that's going to be made to pull it. Let's just see why. Like, what's the truth? And then what is it they're telling people? Because those are two very different things most of the time. So what is the true reason The Simpsons may be canceled? Because so many of or at least some of the people who are high up in there, they want more truth to be in from a divine place. They want more truth to be known or given. And they may be ousted and the show may just literally lose its life force or the lifeblood of it. Because when you remove spirit from something, it becomes dull and dead and it starts to recycle itself. I just heard autophagy, which is something your body will do to recycle. It'll eat itself to get rid of the dead and dying and decaying, or just things that don't need to be there. So I just heard it's going to implode from the inside. So now what are they going to tell us as far as the public as to why they're ending this contract potentially sooner than that 40th season potentially? What are they telling the public? Okay, so we have the king is the truth. The queen is the false or the maybe band-aid they're putting. Maybe so what I'm getting from this is there's a bit of truth in the lie. But they may say there's some sort of scandal or it may not deal specifically with a female, but it's something with the feminine energy, which is very creative. So it could be just recycled plot lines. Nobody's watching. Who cares anymore? It could be something along those lines. Let's just get a closing statement. Anything else we need to know about the potential canceling of The Simpsons before that 4-year contract is up? Well, it's funny because we have a happy family here, which Simpsons is kind of a seemingly dysfunctional family in a lot of ways, but it's not going to hurt anybody if they cancel this show. It really isn't. And we did have the 10 of yeah, we had the 10 of cups at the beginning when we were asking some I can't remember specifically what we were asking, but it came out in reverse. Well, now it's upright. So the cycle has closed. The loop has been closed, or the purpose, the reason behind it will close. So it may not go out in scandal as far as like what's externally told, but there may be an internal scandal. And again, it feels very much divine versus AI, or maybe even the rise of AI is just like no one wants to watch this anymore because AI is taken over and whatever. Hopefully not taken over, but like taken over the entertainment or cartoons or animations in some way that it doesn't make logical sense through money, through paper to continue running the show. It could be something like that. Wow, I did not expect any of that. Any of that at all. Wow, okay. Well, we got some pretty clear answers and very interesting just things that I didn't even know were going on here. Wow, okay. I might have to look more into that Lisa judging someone, because there's something about that is just sticking out. Even now, it's coming back. Like, look into that. Maybe not right now. I'll maybe do it later, and then I'll update you guys. Either in a comment on this cosmic question. So if you're watching later, maybe look in the comments, see if I've updated. Update. Remember on Unsolved Mysteries, it'd be like, update. It was always just so creepy. I hope this update isn't creepy. Yeah, I will look in and see if there's anything I can gather through Google, because I don't watch the show, but I'm seeing a very clear, Lisa's in charge. Lisa's judging someone or something to bring fairness and balance to something that needs to stop, needs to end, needs to be done away with. All right, so that's it for Cosmic Question Corner today. I think what I might do, I don't have paper in here, do I? I do, but it's all written on. That's the problem. I might get a new paper after the fact and write down Earthy Davis' question here. She'd like to suggest another cosmic question about Abraham Hicks and the frequency their work is on. Maybe it's similar to the one you're reading about now. Perfect. Yeah, I will write that down and just see, because that's a very great question. A lot of people follow the teachings of Abraham Hicks. So that would be, maybe I'll just go look and see if I have my little notepad out here, because I want to write that down. I don't want to forget that one. I don't have my notepad handy, but I do have some little sticky notes that I could at least write it down. I know it's different than these, but I have the notepad that I have these on, that I will write it down, and then I'll replace it with the proper size paper so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb in here. So we create fairness and balance in our cosmic questions. So Abraham Hicks and the frequency of their work is on. Okay. Write your name. CQC, Cosmic Question Corner. Okay, and I'm going to leave that little note for myself right here. So that all being said, we do have one donation so far that I know of. Let me just check the donation list, see if we're up to date. Okay, yes, we have a one card pull for Anna, aka Earthy Deva. Thanks again for your suggestion for the Cosmic Question Corners today. Both questions you've submitted today. Thank you so much. Feeling overwhelmed between relationship doubts and work. I'd like a message to navigate this time and stop nitpicking my mind. Okay, perfect. Let's go. Let's see. About 38:30 was your timestamp. I do want to write that down on this paper. So Earthy Deva, 38:30. Around about timestamp. Earthy Deva. Okay. Looks like Earthy Deca, but I'll fix that later. Okay. Read the question one more time, make sure we have it, and then I will ask. So Anna is feeling overwhelmed between relationship doubts and work. She would like a message to navigate this time and stop nitpicking my mind. Okay. I heard the song by Faith Hill, Breathe. It's like, or no, it's not by Faith Hill, but there is, I think, a song by her called Breathe. But this is by, I think the song's called 2 a.m. by Anna, same name as you, Anna Nalick. Let's see, 2 a.m. Anna, I think that's, I don't know if it's ICK or what. Yeah, I don't even know what the song's about, but it's like Breathe, just breathe. Oh, and then Faith Hill says, I can feel you breathe, just watching over me. Suddenly, something, I'm into you, something, something. Let's see. Faith Hill, breathe. Okay, I gotta cancel my previous question about The Simpsons. It's not gonna get me what I need. Okay, let's just see. Okay, so it's basically a love song. I can feel the magic floating in the air. Being with you gets me that way. I watch the sunlight dance across your face, and I've never been this swept away. All my thoughts seem to settle on the breeze. Uh, oh, when I'm lying wrapped up in your arms, the whole world just fades away. The only thing I hear is the beating of your heart. Because I can feel you breathe. Oh, it's washing over me, not you're watching over me. That could be a stalker anthem. It's washing over me, and suddenly I'm melting into you. There we go. There's nothing left to prove. Baby, all we need is just to be. Just be. Just breathe. So yeah, just having time to just be. Just relax, de-stress, especially between work and just home life, just being a person existing in the world, personal time, and then also personal to you time and relationship time. So there needs to be a bit of a work life balance and a bit of a self versus significant other balance that may be missing right now, or just kind of off kilter, that is making things stressful, anxious. Maybe your mind is racing and you're nitpicking, or you're second guessing, or you're judging yourself or others potentially. Yeah, let me just do 2 a.m. And I swear I'm gonna pull cards on this. I am. Oh, it is ICK. 2 a.m. and she calls me because I'm still awake. Can you help me unravel my latest mistake? I don't love him. Winter just wasn't my season. So it's basically someone just second guessing their life. Yeah, and it's like life-changing examples. You can look this lyrics up as well. So yeah, it's like 2 a.m. Like you're up, you're worried, you're thinking about things. But let's just see. Anything to help Anna. Let me read your question so we have it solid here. Feeling overwhelmed between relationship doubts and work. Like a message to navigate this time and stop nitpicking my mind. But in the song 2 a.m., she's kind of thinking, maybe I don't love this guy. I don't know that that's exactly what you're dealing with, but relationship doubts, just maybe, is this my person? Could I do better? Whatever is going through your mind, you have valid reasons for this. Okay, so we have the death card here. So there is an ending. This does not mean your job's going to end or that the specific relationship is going to end, but the way that you are showing up, and specifically because I was mostly just talking about the relationship right as I was shuffling and thinking about the question. There's a dynamic within the relationship that is ending at the very least. I mean, this could, if you're asking about a relationship, like, is it over? And you get this card, yes, it's over, but that wasn't specifically what you were asking. You were more asking about the doubts. There's an end coming to the doubts. Let's get some clarity, specifically on the relationship for Anna. These doubts that she has, what is it that's going on here? Oh, okay. So this is about just being, maybe having more time for yourself to really tune into yourself, your frequency, what you want, what you desire. And this doesn't mean that you have to take a break. You don't have to take a break from the relationship, but you may just let your significant other know that, I need some clarity, or I need to figure some things out for myself. And it's not even just you like thinking about these things and like ideas coming to your mind. It's you just being a person in this world and feeling into your spirit and just allowing that guidance to come through, not from a thought process, but more from a knowing. A knowing, when you know something, that clear cognizance, it's not a knowing from the logical mind or even using the mind as that tool. It's just this download of spirit that comes into your awareness and overrides the mind. That's what's coming through. So it's not even a thought you have like leads you to some big epiphany in your relationship. It's more a spirit download by giving yourself time. I won't say away from the relationship because I don't see that you have to even take a break in this relationship at all. It's more prioritizing time to get in touch with your own self while still being a worker, out in the workforce and in a relationship, being a girlfriend or a partner in a relationship. But just letting your partner know, I kind of feel lost in my life a little bit, and I'm not expecting you to fix it or try to give me answers or anything. I just need some time to do some soul searching or journaling or just being in nature or whatever it is that you feel really connected to you, Anna. And it's going to be all about your perspective. Like, what is it I'm focusing on? Because you're going to manifest what it is you're focusing on. So if you're having doubts about the relationship and that runs on loop in your head, that's going to be your main focus of, I don't know that this is right for me. And then you're going to maybe potentially manifest that. But if you can pull that back and just say, not even making like a pros and cons list. That's not even what this is, but it's like this hermit card. They're getting in touch with their own spirit. You can see the spirit is just shining in the shadow behind them. Look at that. It's a really beautiful depiction of this card. We even have a key here. So you and 1111 on the clock. This is a really beautiful card for a hermit card. I don't think I've seen one quite like it in any other deck I have, but it's a really, I could probably just read on this card for over an hour. It's really great symbolism and just being able to shine your own light. And we have 3 of wands here in the card by these 3 candles. There's a lantern with a candle and then 2 candles here. That's a 3 of wands energy, 3 of fire energy here of being able to finally follow through on something you're manifesting, or potentially even going on a trip. That could be you're going on some sort of solo trip, or even if it's a staycation where you're taking the weekend off from work, taking the weekend off, not like I'm out of this relationship, peace out, not like that, but just saying I need a weekend to just be in my own energy. So maybe don't come over, or whatever the case may be, and not like, oh, I need you out of here, not like that, but just phrasing this to your partner in a way that I just need the weekend to zone out in a very spiritual way, like zone in, tune in to my own self and just, get some clarity on what I've got going on. And that will help you figure out where your focus is in this relationship, especially if your significant other is focused on something besides you. If they're really busy at work, or if they've got, a hobby that takes up a lot of their time, sometimes it may even be that you feel left out or almost question, does this person love me as much as I love them? Or do I love them as much as I thought I did, or I used to, or, that might just open the can of worms as far as like, what questions are you asking on a spirit level, on a conscious level, on a, human mind level? And just knowing where to put your attention and focus. But if you feel deep down something's off, it's time to kind of step back and just allow that off feeling to kind of permeate your energy so you can get some answers or get to the bottom of that. As far as work goes, just confusion or just feeling a certain type of way about work. Let's go back to your question so I can phrase this correctly. Overwhelmed. Okay, we really touched on the relationship doubts, but let's tune into the work. Feeling overwhelmed at work and navigating this time, and stop nitpicking your mind, especially in the work realm. Now we're switching gears from relationship into work. For Anna. Okay, these 2 definitely want to come out. 3. There's 3 of them. Okay. I love this. Okay. It's definitely time for a vacation, or at least if you can't swing a vacation in any way, just when you are not working, that you're doing your best not to be thinking about work. A balance definitely needs to be struck here. This even came in between these 2 cards here, which are great cards, great cards. So we have the 9 of Pentacles. Your hard work is paying off. This is like vacation vibes as well. Like she's treating herself. She's like in a spa, or not even a spa, but it's almost like she's like in a hotel room, but there's like PR, like products in the background, almost like giving influencer vibes here. Got the little like room service kind of looking set up here as well. Some fresh flowers. These are, I think, stargazer lilies. I think those are what those are called. She's enjoying maybe a cappuccino or, a tea, something, whatever beverage of choice for you, Anna. But this is just saying, not that you have to go to a hotel and treat yourself in that way, unless you feel so inclined. Of course you can. But this is basically saying you don't even need to spend money to really tune in and bring that balance. Because you not giving your all to work and instead kind of, doing what you need to do at work, but not going above and beyond like you may tend to do. A lot of women in the workplace do tend to go above and beyond because we almost feel like we have to work harder than our masculine counterparts to get those raises, those promotions, to be seen, to be recognized. A lot of, not all the time, but a lot of times women can really go above and beyond. Again, not all the time. I've seen some pretty lazy people in my day, but I'm not reading that as your energy at all. You're very much, okay, if I just do one more thing, show that I care that much more, all of that. It's more about taking that energy and life force that you would pour into doing an even better, even better, even better job at work, and instead pull that back into you and give that resource to yourself. Give that resource to yourself because that will actually help pay off at work in a roundabout way. It's almost like when people stop caring or, giving more than they need to in a relationship, in a job, in a, whatever the case may be, that's when they get what they've been trying to get all along, whatever that looks like specifically. Versha's here. Hello. So I know it was just a one card read, but I felt like diving in for that for a minute, but yeah. Oh, you missed the fun of the Cosmic Question Corner. Yeah, we read on, well, this was the question today, submitted by Temptress the Enchantress, which I haven't seen her around here in a hot minute. So this has been in here a while. Are the Simpsons predictions real? And this is that TV show, The Simpsons, which is, we learned today, 36 seasons of The Simpsons. And they're planning to go through 40 seasons. But yeah, we really went in. We got some answers on that TV show. And it wasn't at all what I was expecting as far as reasons or context and all that. Like, it was a surprise even to me. I had no idea. All right. Well, let me just double check our donation list. And I think we are up to date, but let me just double check that I'm not missing anyone. And I need to remind myself to post Anna's timestamp. Yes, I do. And I missed where she suggested, oh, did I drop it? Where she suggested a new, there it is, a new Cosmic Question Corner question. All right, we are all caught up. So, oh, and fun news, I think I said this on the last live stream, but I am getting a new phone very soon, very soon. It was supposed to be here this week, but I mean, we're only halfway through the week, so maybe it's still coming. Not a moment too soon. And it's like a terabyte of space. This is like 64 gigs. I almost said megs. I'm like, no, that's not right. This is 64 gigs. So this will be, so my new phone will be equal to like 15, 16, 17 space-wise of these phones. I'm going to be able to store stuff on the new phone. I'm so excited. Oh, I almost want to call you Amber still. Why do I do that? I don't. Old habits die hard. Versha is going to donate. Okay, we will hang out. Let her do that. All right. I'm drinking tea. I did see a notification in my email when I just looked to see if we had donations that my coffee has been delivered. So I am now no longer out of coffee. I just ran out this morning and I was like, I could probably wait because I was fasting anyway. I'm like, I could wait. I didn't see that it was out for delivery, but I just felt like, okay, it's been a while since I downloaded. Since I ordered this, it should be here today, maybe tomorrow at the latest. And then I realized I was out of coffee. So I was like, I guess I'll make some tea. It's fine. 'Tis the season, or at least we're getting toward the season for salted caramel tea. Everybody else is like pumpkin spice season. I'm more of a salted caramel season for the fall myself. Although I do love pumpkin desserts. Not to say I don't like pumpkin spice coffee and stuff. I do, but I just prefer salted caramel over it. I don't know why. I'm just weird. Oh, you popped in for a moment. You have been very generous with your time, and I will reply later. Get to watch the whole thing. Oh, you're so welcome, Anna. Anytime, anytime. I will have fun with the rest of live. Thank you. I always do. You guys know me. Way too much fun. I just want to hang out here all day. Usually do. Although I do have some stuff I got to get done before I have to go pick the kids up. So, but we're not chomping at the bit today. That's why I do like when we have Wednesday evening is I kind of just say, okay, after 6 p.m. I'm on my live stream or I'm getting ready for bed. And that's pretty much it because I don't have anywhere else to be except bed. So, but the thing about being live during the day is I, at some point, do have to end and go get the kids. I mean, obviously, do have to end it on Wednesday nights to go to bed, obviously, but the time is a little more elastic, it seems like, on Wednesday nights, Wednesday evenings. Yes, yes. All right, so we did have that come through. Let's see. Question here. Okay, so full read for Versha. So this is, there is a lot going on with me physically and energetically. Is all about purging. Also heartbreak I got from S again. I know I am to be blamed. Also yesterday I was meditating and saw a stream of consciousness coming down into me and all my galactic family around. My dreams are crazy too. Okay, so let's just see what's going on. Yeah, it does feel like a big purge. It really does. Clarity on how to move ahead, move forward. With all that's going on. Okay, this one jumped. Okay, yeah, there's a new beginning here. So the stage is being set for a new beginning. And in a lot of ways, it's almost like you feel like now I have to start all over. Like all this work I did is for nothing. But no, that's actually not the case. What's going on is you just have a whole new reality now. And there may even be something about your own inner child, S's inner child, or your actual child, Kashvi, that's coming into the mix here. Let's just see. Is this specifically, I'm getting more, this is specifically about Kashvi. Yeah, maybe even her. I mean, I know she just came off of summer break, obviously. Summer vacation is over now. But this is reminding her that her hard work will pay off, but she shouldn't go like completely tunnel vision on school. Make time to have fun, make time for, any good friends that she has, if that's the case. Just make time to also be a kid, is what I'm seeing here. I know that has really nothing to do with what you're asking, but you also, your own inner child, Versha, can go along for the ride with Kashvi. You can raise them together, your own inner child and your daughter. To same message for her is for you, as to, yes, there's this new beginning. Maybe there's this hard work going on, all this purging and just feeling this consciousness come in. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to ground yourself. Don't forget to treat yourself. Do the self-care that you really need to do. And even stuff that feels like extras that you maybe normally wouldn't do, that you just feel like doing now, like little extras for yourself. And self-care does not equal or have to equal spending money. Self-care can be just taking the day off, or going outside and grounding, putting your feet in the grass, something like that. It can be very cheap and inexpensive ways for self-care. So exhausted. I actually felt like going away from the life, and then upcoming orthodontist thing is coming up on Friday. I don't want to do all this anymore. Dealing with S is too much. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. It's a lot. Okay, and as you're saying that, my husband's texting me. Boston needs to, they because he's in accelerated math, they had to move his schedule around because his jazz band was during the accelerated math class, so he had to drop jazz band, which he was really bummed about. But then so first semester he has health, second semester he was supposed to have some sort of conditioning weight training class, but they somehow didn't post that and instead put him in a what do you call it? Study hall. That's the word I'm looking for. So he's in a study hall next semester that he doesn't want to do. He'd rather, do a class, or especially like a PE class. So we're trying to get that figured out. So what I'm seeing here is we finally made contact with the guidance counselor. The other PE option is intro to games. He got him in there. Okay, so we got what we needed. We got what we needed from this thing that's been kind of hanging over our heads since first day of school a week ago today for him. We realized, you didn't get into that conditioning class. So good. I'm glad that we got that squared away. But usually when a message comes through while I'm doing a reading, there's a message in that message for the person I'm doing the reading for. So something that you were maybe worried about, or kind of like, oh, we got to get this done. Just breathe. That song's coming up again. Just breathe. Yeah. Let's see. I'm doing that every day. I have truly given up on my hopes of anything good or breakthrough with him. Maybe it's about the orthodontist thing. Yeah. And then we have the stepping out of the matrix energy here. So when that matrix just becomes too much, literally just say, I'm opting out. I'm stepping out of the matrix, and just connecting with your own spirit. Even if that just looks like 5 minutes that you're connected to your spirit, where you're just saying, Hey, Matrix, la 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 la, I can't see you, can't hear you, you can't see me, I can't see you, you don't exist. I'm in my spirit right now. I love this. Like, yeah, just allowing yourself to step out of the matrix, so to speak. Let's get some clarity on how else she can do this, how else Versha can step out of the matrix, because it's all becoming too much. I'm just hearing, this may sound mean, but spirits like laughing hysterically, and they're like, it's all by design. Of course we're trying to break you because you're not meant to be doing all this crap. And now I'm getting a very specific download for my own self that the same thing's happening for me to me. Like all this busyness. It's like, no wonder you're overwhelmed. You're not supposed to be doing all this crap. All trying to keep us busy so we can't integrate these new energies. Yeah, I can imagine it's become just too much, too much, too much. Okay, advice, wisdom, guidance, how Versha can step out of the matrix and just connect to her own spirit or be existing outside this matrix system. It's become too much. Literally saying no to certain appointments. You're going to have to say no, like in the physical reality of saying no. No, I'm not signing up for this. I'm not going to that appointment. You're not getting to connect with me tonight in the way that you want to. Whatever the, a boundary needs to be set here. And then we have the 10 of cups. Because much like we were talking about with Anna, when you pull back all that energy, you were pouring in all these activities and places to go, people to see. When you start pulling all that energy, you say no to that and you pull, or, politely decline, or, whatever you need to do, and you start pulling all that energy back and pouring that energy back into you, that's when people start acting right, because you are honoring your energy and yourself, and that will tell them that they also have to honor you and your energy. It's very interesting. Yeah, I told him today I want to cancel the appointment, but he said that no, let it be. I am hurting in my body due to the purge. Well, if he wants this appointment to happen so much, he can take her, right? Like, why does it have to be you? My husband takes my kids' appointments all the time if they need to, getting their hair cut. He's the one that emailed the guidance counselor today. It's like, Kashfi's got two parents. Why does it have to be you? Why? It doesn't. It doesn't. Because you know that if he's going to be the one that has to do it, it's not going to happen, because he's not going to put that effort in to go do that. I don't have time for that. Oh, but my time and me doing that is insignificant. It means nothing. Okay, I got it. So when you have to do it, it's a big chore. But when I have to do it, it's just expected. Okay, I got it. I got it. He can see what's going on, but he acts like it doesn't matter. I would like to go as well. Yeah, I can totally see why you would want to go, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, as far as having him take her, like, call his bluff. Like, if you want her to go so bad, you take her. I don't have the capacity to go right now. I can guarantee you he wouldn't take her on his own. He needs you because you're the one with all the information. You're the one that knows your daughter. He would probably not even know how to answer questions. It's kind of the energy coming through. Like, he wouldn't do it. If you told him, hey, you're just gonna have to take her yourself. I'm spent. I am over capacity. I've done too much. I need a break. I need to rest. I can't do this right now. You're gonna have to take her. Guarantee you, 99 to 100%, he would not take her himself. He would wait for a more convenient time for you to be there, if he had to go at all. Or he would just rather you take her, and that's that, is what's coming through. So it's almost like you calling his bluff, not to play games, but just to say, here's my boundary. And that's that. Like, that's what's coming through. He can see what's going on, but acts like it doesn't matter. I like to go as well. Else he take the decision on his own about her teeth extraction. Right. But let's just see anything else you need to know about this just overwhelm and exhaustion. Yeah, it's like emergency. I'm hearing that that song. It's like, let's see. I'm not going to play it just for copyright reasons, but it's like you can look it up. It's like emergency. It's like one of those TikTok whatever. I'm hearing that in my mind. It's like, but it's kind of funny and quirky and kind of a weird song. But it's like you declaring emergency. I need a break. I need time off. I need to not be doing all these things. Look what happens. You get a victory. You get recognized for the work that you do. Because if you stop doing the work that you normally do, it's gonna be noticed. He's gonna notice. And then he can't deny the fact that you're working hard. Not to say you have to drop everything. I'm not saying that. Whatever you're comfortable with saying no to, say no to it. It will create a better connection to your spirit because you're not overriding your own needs to meet someone else's, especially when you don't agree with taking, say specifically taking her to this appointment, but you drag your feet and go anyway. You're living out of alignment by doing that, is what this is showing. And then 9 of Cups is your wish is going to be granted. Yeah. I asked him to take her to the Taekwondo class. He said no. He only wants one thing. Yeah, and me to use and abuse. I actually used volcanic lava on both of us. I did the clearing and quantum leap as well. I did that last night, but he just went upstairs. Yeah. But when you start saying no, it's like energetically, he can't force you to do things. But him doing a simple task as dropping the daughter off at Taekwondo. That is not you asking for even that's like below bare minimum for him to take his own flesh and blood to a Taekwondo class. You do it all the time. So why can't he do it once, twice, or on a consistent basis? I mean, you're both parents. His role as provider is not just emotional or financial, it's also emotional, and having that connection with his daughter. Maybe on the drive over they can have a conversation, but he's terrified of that. No, not too late to donate. We're still here. I think I do also have a donation from Brianna. And that's the only other one I have right now, Marlene. So if you want to jump in, feel free. Get that hair off my lap. Yeah, he was the one who signed her up saying he will take responsibility for it, not me. Now he doesn't even take her. Right. And again, it's a new beginning because every now moment is a new beginning. You can wipe the slate clean and start over. And he's just going to have to, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? This new spirit that's kind of come in and ingrained is not going to, I don't see the spirit like getting angry and violent with you. I just see this spirit, or more the human ego, like throwing his own tantrum and then walking off or storming off. But he's going to learn. He can't continue to say jump and you say how high. Like that's what's coming through is you stand true to your convictions. If you truly don't want to do something, don't effing do it. Which you seem it's coming through that in certain areas of life, you're very firm in those boundaries, but in others, you're like, oh, okay, I should do it. I better do it because if I don't do it, it won't get done. And just allow, sometimes that's what it comes to. I saw this thing it was a while back on Facebook, this guy, the house looked destroyed. And I still do not to this day understand why people have like cameras inside their house to like watch them do things. Like that to me is so creepy. I don't get it. We have, our smart TV and our smartphones and our laptops that are probably recording us, obviously, probably, most likely. But why would you purposely put cameras inside your house to watch you do things? But the guy's like a bomb went off. Like all the dishes from breakfast are still out. All the cooking stuff's still out. There's toys and clothes thrown all over the living room. And the guy had said something about, my wife told me, you're flying out Friday at this time. The kids and I are leaving. You're flying out this time, this date. Like he was so disconnected from her that he didn't even realize that she was having a conversation with him. Like he should know what she's talking about because he tunes her out so much. She took the kids and went somewhere and he thought, oh, it's on, like she's divorcing me. So what did he do? He got up and he started cleaning. And, by the time he realized, when he had to leave, it was kind of in a voiceover of him just cooking and cleaning, and not cooking, but cleaning and doing all this, the things that she just dropped the ball on because she was tired of doing them all the time. It's like, oh, it's your turn. I can't do this anymore. It's all I do. But he realized that she took the kids and went to his in-laws for a visit that they had all planned, but because he had some things going on with work, he was flying out like 3 days after them. But because she was like his like computer, his brain, his secretary, his everything, he couldn't even like function on his own. And she let him know that by not reminding him what they were doing, but just saying, okay, here's the time of your flight and we'll see you later. And he said, even in the voiceover, like, I guess I'll find out where I'm flying once I land. It's like, are you serious? Like, But because she just had enough and just said, "Okay, you deal with this," he had to step up and do it, or he was gonna fumble and fall. It was his choice, you know? Cooking and cleanings, if I don't do it, it won't be done. The other day, I asked him to get something for Kay and himself. He replied, "You order yourself." Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine. Raylene has sent all the kids with her husband to Montana as she could handle all the work and chores with her transformation. Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm so lucky I have the husband I have. I mean, most people say, well, they're a second parent to your children. It's bare minimum that they take them and do things with them and give you a break. It's bare minimum. But to me, I'm still very grateful when I get those times, which are a lot. I do get a lot of, and even if I am overwhelmed, even when he's overwhelmed, he can deal with the overwhelm better than I can. And he will deal with the kids when I'm overwhelmed. I mean, my kids are older now and it's not as overwhelming. What they need from me is not as overwhelming as them just having meltdowns and stuff. Like, thankfully, we're kind of beyond those years as far as raising kids. Teenagers can still have meltdowns, but it looks different. I feel like I'm better equipped to handle and navigate and dismantle a teenage meltdown as opposed to like little baby meltdowns. But when they were really little baby meltdowns, I could totally handle it because your instinct kicks in and all that. But just like the nitpicking and the bickering and the fighting, just picking at it. He's looking at me, he's touching me, and the whining. And Wrigley likes to scream when he gets triggered. It's too much, you know. Thankfully, he's growing out of that every single day. Thank goodness. The screaming. I can't handle kids screaming, like at the top of their lungs, kind of screaming. Before I had kids, I'm like, if I have kids like that, I don't know if I'd be able to be a parent. And Boston's not at all like that, but Wrigley, he will scream. Like Boston, look at him wrong. He'll just scream at the top, like bloody murder. I'm like, who are you, and why are you possessing my child right now? I can't deal with it. It triggers like this fight or flight in me that I can't. It takes me hours after he screams once to like come back into my body. That's a trauma I need to work through, and probably myself. So your kids and your husbands and your parents are like your greatest triggers. It's a lot. I'm still scared of him complaining to my in-laws or calling my father and brother. I just heard, let him. Just let him. Because that's going to show that, he really dropped the ball somewhere along the way if he's calling your mom or sorry, your dad or his parents and tattling. Like, wow, it's going to say a lot more about him than it will say about you if he has to do that. He doesn't want to do that. That's coming through very clearly energetically. That's the last thing he wants to have to do. So he may threaten to do that, but he would never follow through unless it was his last hurrah, Yes, absolutely, Brianna. I can timestamp that for you, hon. Absolutely. I'm still, yeah, I guess that is what is the hurdle, because actually I am so done, even ready to walk out, but will not be called a lunatic for doing tarot or a careless mother who doesn't know how to parent. Right. He couldn't parent his way out of a wet paper bag. Even if you left him written instructions on the inside of the bag, how to get out as far as parenting goes. Energetically. It's not even what you've told me. It's just energetically tuning in. When I sense the connection between him and his daughter, and of course I see that, he doesn't want anything bad to happen to her, obviously, but as far as him having that desire or urge to want to connect to her on a human to human level, it's gone. It's just not really there. I'm missing your mom today. Yeah. But for him to, this is the thing, Versha, for him to question or critique your parenting in any way is almost laughable to someone outside of the situation, someone like me. Because again, he can't parent his own way out of a wet paper bag. And that's his own shortcoming projected onto you. It has nothing to do with you. Even if he uses specific examples of you parenting this way, or you doing this, or you doing that, it's still the energetic basis of what's coming through has nothing to do with your parenting. And in fact, your parenting shuts him down every single day because you're doing such a great job. Even if you feel like you're failing. I mean, there are times as parents, we all feel like we're failing, but if you can compare, not that it's a competition, but if you can compare it to the way you were raised, you're doing a much better job. You can already see that just on a surface level, Versha. So boundaries are going to be important moving forward, not just with your body, but like what you're willing to extend energetically, chores you're doing or cooking you're doing, requests he has, or if you request him to do something and he's like, no, you do it. I mean, if you really need something done because you need it done, do it. But if there's something that, and it's not that you're playing games, it's just that you're calling back your energy, your power, because the workload is so imbalanced, it's not even funny. He doesn't see it because he thinks, well, I work all day. That's bare minimum. That's You still need to participate in the household by helping and engaging with the people here, and not just sexually. Like, hello, anyone home? You know this, I know this, we know this, but he does not get it. He doesn't get it. I did see more of purging from his heart center on Monday night, but I said, okay, presence. I am presence of S. I am not helping here. You are on your own. What's the use when the ego won't let anything happen? I know, but the day he made me really question me, it was like a rug being pulled out from my feet again. Yeah, and I can imagine, because when someone says something and you're already kind of triggered and you're already on defense, and then they say something that you may, because we've all judged our own parenting or our own selves in certain ways, and then when someone says something that we've already judged ourselves on, it hits home and it hurts hard. But if someone were to judge you and you know it's a flat out lie, you've never judged yourself in that way, it just won't, it can't land. So that does let you know. I mean, I guess you could count it as a gift in one way, by it's letting you know where there's still healing that can be done as far as your own self-worth or your own abilities or skills, or if you're doing right by your daughter, there's still healing or peeling you can do in that area. That the more you lean in and heal your inner child and heal, your own self, his barbs and hooks and tricks and words are just not going to land the same way anymore. They'll just go right through you and it won't affect you. Um, so really, he's giving you a massive gift. And I know it's like a gift covered in turds right now, because that's what it feels like. But the massive gift, he's pointing out where there's healing. Again, I don't even like to call it healing anymore, because we are whole and complete in spirit form. There's nothing wrong with us. We just need to forget who we're not, or just remember who we're not and let it go. Take it off like a dirty pair of underwear or a dirty old coat, take it off. Shake it off. Yeah. Did you use your advice and said, I cannot talk anymore and I need to go and process this? And he left the house. Oh, and left the house. Yeah. And, most of the time that will be enough to just get him to start thinking, wow, maybe I did, with this new spirit there. I think with the old one, he'd just blame, blame, blame. I'm not to blame at all. But at least you're making him start to question himself. Not like, oh, it's a game. Like, oh, yeah, gotcha. But like your actions, you pulling your energy back, are going to start to make him question, like, okay, I used to be able to do this and now I can't, but now I can't get away with it. What's changed? What's different? And he's going to start have to do some self-reflection, some self-actualization here. Yeah, nothing shifted. Waiting for the day when I will be able to peel completely. Oh my gosh, right? Wouldn't that be amazing? I still get triggered all the time by things. So it's a process. It's not just this overnight thing. Reading the four agreements, you can usually, I think it's even here on YouTube as like an audio book. That's something even if you've read it 3, 4, 5, 10 times, rereading it if it's been a while is always, for me, as far as triggers go, such a refresher course in like, okay, how do I proceed when I'm triggered? Let me go back to my four agreements. I need to do that again. Thank you for reminding me by way of reading here. Yeah. Well, big hugs to you, Versha. It does feel like at least you pulling back in areas where it's not like life or death situation and you can pull your energy back. Start there, and give to yourself rather than trying to give to him, energetically speaking, and even your time and effort and attention. When you pull that back, it can help. Oh, the four agreements. Yes, I can totally do that. And we will get, it looks like Brianna had to step out. So I can timestamp that for her. And she's got a 1-card pull. And then also Marlene, go ahead and post your question. We'll get right into it for your 1-card pull as well. And then we'll do Brianna's and I'll timestamp that for her. Yes, it's by Don Miguel Ruiz. Let me just, okay, let me send a new text. The 4 agreements. Okay. And you can usually find it on audiobook on I have a physical copy, and it's like a I wanna say it's under 200 pages, maybe a little over 200, somewhere in there. It's a pretty short book, and it's really easy reading. And I thought, "Oh, for a spiritual book, it's probably like a slog to get through." No, I finished the first time I read it, I think I finished it in a day and a half. It's just because I had other things I had going on that I had to stop reading. Like, I could have just read it in one sitting. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, this is like unlocked so much for me." And then every time I've read it thereafter, I think I've only read it 3 times. I plan to read it a 4th time, but then I never did. I had it out and I started reading. I think I got to like page 5 and then life derailed me, but I want to get back into it again. It's such a refresher course. Yearly, it should be a yearly refresher course for all of humanity to read this book and just follow the principles of the 4 agreements. And then there's a book called the 5th agreement and like the companion book, and I got like a on my shelf it takes up like this much space. And they're not thick books. They're like, little thin paperback books, but I have a stack like this of his books. Um, Mastery of Love, I think, is one of them. And I got every single one of them used. I think I got 4 of them in one go. They were just all on a shelf for like $1 a piece at Goodwill or one of the places I go for used books. And I just got a whole bunch of them all at once. I started with the 4 agreements, and then I saw like the 4 agreements with some of the other books. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need these. Yes. All right. So Marlene wants to know, what is the underlying reason as to why I keep having a repetitive dream where I leave my car and decide to walk far instead of drive? Okay. Okay. So I'm already getting downloads. This is about feeling like life, like there are uncertainties of life, and you driving a car. Yes, you're literally in the driver's seat of a car, but there's still the uncertainty of, what are the other drivers doing? Is my car going to break down? Am I going to hit a deer? These are just kind of things that may happen here where I live. Hitting deer is pretty common. I haven't hit a deer in a long, long time, and it's always sad when it happens. But it's about, and also about slowing down. That's a message, very clear, because I thought about this. There are places I've only driven by and never gotten out and walked. And I was thinking about this when I was driving up to Libby right before school started. So it was, well, not right before school started. It was a couple weeks before school started, I think. I'm trying to say, yeah, it was the end of July going into early August. So it was about a month, a little less than a month before school started. I went up to Libby, and I was just thinking about that. It's like I've only ever driven through this one town or this stretch of highway. I've never actually walked. But when you're walking that same stretch of highway that you would normally drive by at 60, 70 miles per hour, you're seeing the details of things. You're able to process and interpret things at a much deeper level than if you were to quickly drive by it and it's past. And now you're processing all this other new stuff coming through, new stuff. So it definitely feels like a very determined way of just saying, I'm done with the rat race. I want to actually ground myself in this reality, or try to figure out things and see the details of things. Feel like my life is almost stagnant, but maybe it's my mind having to slow down. Yeah, it's definitely mental. It's a mental process that is shifting and changing. Look at that. And it's very interesting because the 5 of Swords normally does not have a Cups card on it. Stagnancy. Maybe the water that was in this cup, the Ace of Cups, that's about self-love. At the core of that card, it's about self-love. And this person has literally dropped the ball, dropped the cup of their own self-love. They poured everything they have to give. And even if you do a lot for yourself, it does feel like, spiritually speaking, mentally speaking, you're going through a shift right now that it's like you're pouring out all the old stagnant water, limiting beliefs, just garbage, and just transmuting it, alchemizing it, and ready to kind of slow down a little bit in certain areas. But weirdly enough, you stepping out of the car in these dreams is allowing you to speed up that stagnancy that you've been feeling. You're now able to get to the nitty-gritty details. I just heard Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. That's a a band. By stepping out of the car, you're able to slow things down, actually get a different perspective than if you're flying by at 60, 70 miles an hour. Let's just see anything else this dream is telling Marlene. Yeah, especially the mental realm needs to slow down. There's your stagnancy. There's your slowdown. There's your seeing things from another perspective. I mean, we can't make this up. It's a very cut and dry, clear message here. Very clear. Very clear. And look, we have the Ace of Cups. Is it two faces meeting to kiss in the middle, or is it a cup, a chalice in the middle? Can you see both, or only one, or the other? Like maybe if I cover the edges. Now you can see the cups standing in the. I got potting soil under my nails, so excuse me. I was watering plants, and I've always got soil under my nails these days. Ugh, I can't get it. Okay, there. Now hopefully you can see the cup, the blue cup in the middle. And then on this card, it's like poured out. But this is allowing you to get this new higher perspective to be able to not have to pour from an empty cup, but you're emptying the cup of just the stagnancy, and because you don't want to drink stagnant water. You want to, if you're going to be out in the woods or something, you don't want to drink from a still pool of water. You want to drink from that moving water. Well, you decided it's almost like a dichotomy of stepping out. You're no longer running at Mach 10, or whatever, Mach 5, Mach 4, Mach whatever. You're slowing down in some regards, but you slowing down in some regards is going to speed things up in other regards, is what's coming through here. And I just heard the cycle is almost complete. So there's a cycle you're closing out. And it could even be where you're in competition with either yourself or someone else. And it's not even like, okay, I signed up for this contest and I'm against this person. It's more of a mental comparison that you may have with someone close to you, or that they may have to you, that's coming to a close, coming to an end. And I just heard it's not a race. That's why you stepped out. You're like, I don't want to compete with this. It could even be a past version of yourself that you're comparing your current version of yourself, but you're a totally different personality than you were back then. And, especially with your like physical body, or, if you have a friend, family close to you that you're always sharing ideas, or even clothing. Like my sister and I used to share clothing. Usually one or the other of us would take without asking, and then we'd yell at the other one. I have a whole video of her yelling at me for wearing her overalls or whatever, and she's mad at me in the video. But yes, the comparison game is ending. It's an ending. There's an ending here to the comparison, potentially specifically around like body image, or like how others perceive you versus another person. I always compare myself to my sister. Oh, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, she doesn't know I do that, but I know it's not healthy. Yeah, and I think that's just a natural thing. I've done that in the past, and from time to time I'll still be like, oh, her hair's so pretty, but not, again, it's not because I want her to be less than me in any kind of way, not at all, but I want to shine as bright or something. It's a human thing. We're all conditioned to do this because of like advertising, and you're lacking something, so get this beauty product or wear this type of clothing and you will be somebody. It's very heavily programmed into most, if not all of us, and it takes a lot of work, mental gymnastics, and just peeling away to get out of those cycles. But I know you may notice too that as time goes on, you do less and less and less and less of that. Because I know if I compare myself to teenage me, and the comparison that I did with my sister back then versus now, it's like 90% of the comparison I did is just not there anymore. Maybe 95. Like it's very much way lower than it used to be. All right. Yeah. Okay. So there's something about the past you're closing out. Again, it's very mental, something that was heartbreaking or just felt like a setback in some way with this Tower card verse and the Three of Swords together. Something that felt like a setback. This could even be something as simple as, I'm not as far as I thought I'd be at X age. I thought by 43, I'd have published my books by now, at least one or two or three of them. But here I sit, 43, still unpublished author, right? So we all have that something that we thought we'd be farther than we are by now. But I'm seeing that you stepping out and slowing down and just giving yourself the space to acknowledge or to allow these epiphanies to come up will allow things to really move forward. As weird as it sounds, you think, well, I'm going to get to my destination much faster if I stay in the damn car. But no, you're stepping out of the car in the dream and going to walk a far distance on foot. But you're actually going to arrive where you're looking to arrive. Again, it's more about the journey than the destination. We've all heard that. But you're going to arrive where you need to arrive faster by slowing down, getting into the details of something. And then the last two. Okay. So happy family, happy home, maybe some sort of deep connection you're forming with a family member or someone who lives with you, that more immediate family. It could be. But there's happiness here. The outcome here is you're going to be able to move forward. Potentially this has to do with buying or building a home of some sort or moving to a different location eventually. It may not happen overnight, but it's like where you're going, you're going to get there faster than you think you are right now. And I heard 2026 is a pretty big highlight year for some move. It could be a literal move or more of a metaphorical move or even just big mental sweeping away the cobwebs of the mental realm of just the old comparisons or just not feeling that you are where you need to be, and all of this is shifting. Really, it's already been shifting and can continue to shift. But in 2026, you're going to see a big breakthrough with something that you felt very stuck or stagnant in a situation, mental process, whatever the case may be. You're going to see this shift big time. All right. I hope that helped for you, Marlene. Yeah, it's a pretty clear-cut message here about all of that. So Jess is here. Hello, my dear. Oh, I'm dropping cards now. Ugh. Okay. All right, so let's get into Brianna's question. I'm going to timestamp for her. She did have to step out. All right. So we are at 1:30:56. Brianna. Timestamp. Okay. Excited for that. Always working on myself, especially mentally. Thank you for my reading. Oh, you're so welcome, Arlene. It's always a pleasure. And thanks again for your donation. Okay, for Brianna, one card pull. You guys know me. It's never one card. I'm so bad about that. What is my spiritual theme for September? What level of my video game am I in? I love that. That's a cool question. All right, we're going to actually switch gears over to the moon. What is it called again? Moonchild or Rainbow Moon. I think there is a Moonchild tarot, I think, but I don't think I have that one. Rainbow Moon, and this deck is so pretty. So pretty. All right, for Brianna, Rainbow Moon Tarot. Here we go. What is the theme? What is the spiritual theme for Brianna for September? AKA, what level of my video game am I in? All right, spiritual theme for September. Well, September for all of us is definitely a time of reaping what we've sown, harvesting, karma, good or bad, coming back. But I'm seeing fruits of your labor. It's definitely going to be a theme of September. But let's see additionally for Brianna, anything else she needs to know about the theme for the month of September, aka what level of the video game. Okay, so there is a heartbreak that is healing, or something from the past you're peeling away and no longer identifying with a past victim. It's like a giving victimhood or victim mode where you're peeling that away because you're realizing, okay, that served me so that I could be aware of it, and you're peeling it away. This also could have to do something with past grief. I just heard cutting your losses. Right, let's get some additional clarity. There's definitely healing here, though. This is not a new heartbreak coming in. This is healing from the old, because look how vital that heart looks. And it's almost like the swords are kind of tucked behind and the heart's set on top of. It's not like they're digging in, because normally, they're stabbed right through the middle or, off to the side. No, you've overcome some heartbreak or grief is what I'm trying to say, by a shifting of your focus. Again, it's very much a mental peeling away of what's no longer serving you, what's not, here for you anymore. And there can be a bittersweet kind of energy to this. It's like, okay, good. I'm no longer identifying as this victim, especially maybe not out loud, but like in your head. Like we can all become the victim in our head, more so than even out loud to other people or just kind of moping around. It usually starts as thoughts in our head, like, oh, why do they get this? Why don't I get that? Why is this going on? Why does this person always start crap with me? It usually starts us questioning why, but then we become victims. Like you're overcoming something in that regard, especially in the mental or feeling caged by your mental processes or just reacting rather than responding. Again, not even to what other people are doing, but maybe what other people are doing that provokes or triggers, I guess, a response within you. It's almost like the return time between when they say something and when you react or respond is going to be longer, which is going to give you more time to actually act in alignment with your spirit, is what I'm hearing. So the theme is you're not reacting instantly to things. You're giving yourself time to process or to really feel, what is my reaction or response going to be, rather than just automatically, AI algorithmically programmed response to usually a defensive attack from someone else. So what level of the video game you're on is you're overcoming a big hurdle, a big challenge. What I'm seeing is it's almost like you're at the end of, kind of like on the Mario Brothers, specifically Mario 3 is coming up for some reason, where you're on that first map, you have like level 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 6 levels, I don't remember. Let me find the map. Because you go through all of this, and then there's a castle at the end. And the first time you ever play this as a kid, at least when I did, you thought, okay, if I get there, is the game over? Like, did I beat the game? What's going on? But then you realize, no, you go to a whole other map, a whole other world, starting over at level 1 again. So it's almost like you're on that level almost before the castle is what's coming through. But let me see if I can find a map of what I'm trying to talk about. Mario 3 map. And even if that specific game is not, oh, it is 6. Okay. So there's, you start at the beginning, you go to level 1, 2, and I think after level, I can't remember which one. Some of these little things here, like they're little extras you can get, like free life, or you can, play a matching game and win. So they're like little bonuses. But what I'm seeing in my mind's eye is like you're on level 6, you just conquered level 6, and now you're crossing the bridge to go over here to the castle, and the big bad in this castle is not some other person, it's your own mental programming. That's not your spirit, it's the matrix programming. Is like you're ready to put it to a stop, to an end. There's a huge ending here. And then of course the benefit of you ending these mental victimhoods, or mental constraints that maybe you have been in, is you get more access to your true spirit, more access outside this matrix, where you're allowing more of your spirit to come through. So what this feels like is you're on the precipice of something big, and especially October, November, December, even January. That was just highlighted in my mind's eye for you as like, how much better can it get? 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 Like month after month, like you're just seeing progress, 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 not by way of peeling away what's no longer you. That's what kind of you're doing this month. But the progress you're going to be seeing is you reaping. Yes, you're going to get some of it. You're getting like a taste or like a sneak peek of that in September. But then October, November, December, January are highlight months for like having like maybe some, deeper connection to your spirit, or bigger downloads, that kind of stuff. So be ready for the downloads. This is you're just getting a taste test, or like a sneak peek this month of some really amazing things that are going to be transpiring. It's very exciting. And I just saw like the colors red and orange, which seem to me they've been kind of a theme, maybe even yellow, kind of those more warm tones. There's something about those warm tones that are going to be really important. So I don't know if you're wearing those warm tones, or just working on those, energetic points, chakras, the root, sacral, and solar plexus, doing a lot of clearing or cleansing, or just, whatever the word may be, for those could definitely help. Yes, absolutely, Varsha. We're still here. We might as well. Totally. All right. I will shuffle, because I heard we're using this deck for your question as well. I don't use this deck enough. It's a fun one. I wonder if there's a Simpsons tarot. I know I don't have it, but that would have been funny to use the Simpsons tarot for a Simpsons cosmic question earlier. Again, it's not that I don't like the Simpsons. I'm just not like, how some people have like their show. That was just never my show, The Office. I love that show. Yes. All right. So we'll give Varsha some time to donate for her yes/no question. And let me just double check our donation list just to see that we are caught up still. Don't want to leave anyone out that wants to get a reading today for sure. Delete some junk mail while I'm here. Yeah, it looks like we're caught up. So we'll go right into Versha's question after she donates here. Yeah, I have still a lot of emails to delete. A lot of emails. Oh, that was for the first week of school. I did not get that email because I can't get my email on my phone. And the last time I was on this computer was last Wednesday, Friday. During that live stream, I did check my email then, and I didn't know what was going on. So I'm catching up on deleting, especially junk mails and all that fun stuff. Yeah, I need to. Well, I will be better at keeping up with email when I can access it on my phone again, because this is what I get now. I'm surprised this even loaded. But yeah, it's like access denied. Yes. I always have to leave during the reading, lol. Well, we just finished and I do have your timestamp. It's 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 56 seconds. So we just wrapped that up just minute or two ago. Yeah. Okay, here we go for Versha. Okay, the dreams and spiritual insights, I'm getting some clarity on that, please. I feel I am more active in the dream state. Yes, okay. Yeah, you did mention that in your other question, but it didn't seem your question was posed to that. But yeah, let's just see. I am getting clarity on that, please. Let's get some clarity on the dreams and spiritual insight for Versha. What does she need to know about this? What is the clarity? What are the insights? What does she need to know? Oh, you got this on part of your other question, but it was from that other deck. It was the guy holding the romantic guy holding the cup out the window of a car. This is about you being able to move forward in a way that feels very emotionally aligned to where you're at. You're no longer emotionally going against yourself. These insights and downloads you're going to feel them as feelings. And they may even come up as like purging of, or feeling a lot of tears, a lot of just exhaustion. You're going to feel it emotionally and physically in your body as well. Maybe even a lot of mental processes are just busy, but it's a purging. It's almost like what I'm seeing is like when you rewind a videotape back in the old VCRs, and you could, if you rewind it, just pushing the rewind, you could watch it rewind, or you could stop and rewind it. It would rewind way faster. So it might start out that you're rewinding it like slowly. I mean, it still appears to be rewinding or unpeeling, peeling off what's not needing to be there anymore at a kind of slow rate where you're having to like feel it and see it and taste it and touch it and smell it, and all the senses are involved. And God, this is exhausting. And you've been here for a minute. You've already been in this kind of slower rewind energy. But now I see like this almost like ripping away of just peeling what doesn't need to be there, almost like like a rewind. But it's not like you rewind and have to go back and do it all over again. No, it's just unraveling, undoing what doesn't need to be in your energy field anymore. And the energies are kind of leading the way for this. It's not anything you have to do or show up or become to allow this process to happen. It's just happening naturally. I saw Raylene twice doing some major energy work, plus my parents as well, as if I am clearing. Once I was with a dolphin in clear seawater. So galactic family working on me too. Oh yes, the emotions. Yeah. You're getting some of this stuff that you're experiencing in dreams are like memories from past life, or like, it's almost like, or again, with the rewinding of the tape, you may be seeing moments from past lives specifically. And of course, your now brain, your human person self is going to interpret, Raylene doing some of these things where maybe in a past life it was someone else, or your parents, dolphin energy, that very Lemurian lifetime is kind of coming across. Funny enough, that just reminded me that I had a dream last night. I needed to dive down into some water to get something. I still don't know what it was, but there was this shark, and every time I'd go in, like big white shark, and every time I'd go in the water, it would come after me, like it wanted to eat me or bite me or attack me. And it did get my foot, but my foot, it went like this, like the big teeth closed on like my toes, and like kind of, I don't know. Most people have to go to OnlyFans to pay to see people's feet, whatever. It got about this much of my foot, But when I pulled my foot up to like look at it, it's like the teeth just like I was in another dimension or something. So the teeth didn't hurt and they didn't tear, they didn't scratch, they didn't rip. My foot was fine. Um, so it's almost like transcending. There's transcending energy. Totally forgot about that dream until you reminded me. Thank you for that. um, and I've been having attacks to my feet in dreams and in real life. Again, the sliver that went into my foot the night before Boston's golf tryouts, um, and the puncture wound of it. It should be healed by now, and it's still there. I got massive attacks to my feet and ankles in high school during my dance squad days, and I was just dealing with a lot of BS from the old cheerleading advisor at the time. She was just a nasty person, just not nice to me, didn't want me on the team. So I said, fine, I'm going to go be in dance squad instead. But I spent most of my dance squad with 2 rolled ankles on crutches trying to choreograph and teach the girls the dances that I made up. But I still, on dance day, I showed up and I was out there dancing with the best of them, even though my ankles were always like cooked, as the kids say. Anyway, back to the question. They are intense. I feel the purge is on steroids plus and it almost feels like this rewind energy. Again, it's more of an unpeeling than you having to go back and relive all of this crap. It's more of a peeling away of what doesn't need to be there. I sleep, and sometimes I toss. Yes, but my Lemurian life, interesting. I don't have any insight on Atlantean. I don't have a lot of connection myself to Atlantean times. It's just really never come up for me. Not to say maybe we weren't there or we weren't, who knows, but I just don't feel weird. I just heard, well, funny enough, we're still in Atlantean times. That's what I just heard in my awareness. So I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe Atlantis didn't fall, that it's just a hoax. I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? We're still in Atlantean times. That's what I just heard. Or Egyptian lifetime or green tablets. Yeah, I feel I was there too. Yeah, it's weird because I feel like I was in certain lifetimes or in certain times, but the need for me to dive in or for those informations to come to the surface, really, it's like it's irrelevant or it's not important to what I'm doing here now. Not to say I wasn't there or doing things, or you, for the same example. It's just maybe not relevant to your life right now, but maybe later on you're going to have all these downloads of your Egyptian lives potentially when they're more relevant to your life or what you're going through. It could be. That's kind of what's coming through. A lot of people I know in Raeline's group are going through the same issues in body, and at least not in the dreams though. Yeah, I've been having a lot of attack dreams. Again, the shark coming to attack. A couple nights ago, I had a dream that it was weird because it was kind of 2 dreams that were like overlapped, and one person was a person in the dream, but then they were someone else, but I still knew it was the person that was over here, but it was a different person. You know how that goes. I was on some sort of bus, but it was also like a van. But then on the front, sometimes they have like these like usually you'll see them on the back. I don't think I've ever seen them on the front of a car, like a flat kind of metal grate that you can stack like luggage or bikes or something on. But the front of this van or bus had that on it. And there was a deer that I thought was dead. We were talking about hitting deer. I haven't hit a deer in many years. Yeah, Michelle, we're still here. Why not? Sure. But there was it was a small baby deer, but it was dead. It was clearly dead. And it was just hanging out on that grill. Like someone, put it on there so they could go dispose of it or whatever. But then the thing got up and was trying to come up the stairs into this, like, I think it was like an Airbnb or something we're staying in. And in my life, guys, I've stayed in one Airbnb once. So it's not like Airbnb is something that, is on my mind all the time. But the baby deer, I mean, it's like whole shoulder was like way out, like it was way deformed because he or she was just dead a minute ago, and now it's alive and it's trying to make its way up the stairs because I called my dogs to come in, and the deer's trying to come in the house, not like to get me or anything, but like it's just trying to obey and come in with me. And I'm like, does anyone have a gun? Like, we got to put this poor thing out of its misery. Like, I was so concerned for the deer. And it was just a little baby, and it was just trying to get in the house and come hang out with us. And I'm like, you have to be in so much pain. Like I remember crying in the dream and like, just what do I do? Poor little guy. I don't know you, but I'm so sad, kind of like that. So I've been having a lot of like animal dreams or attack dreams. Like I'm on the run, I'm on the move. Yeah, weird. But let's just see anything else that Versha needs to know. Ooh, I wonder if I have more fractures to work on. I think it's like we'll just keep peeling and peeling and peeling, and then there's this patience grasshopper. That's what I just heard. And then 9 of daggers or 9 of swords. There's that insomnia, tossing, turning, mental worry, mental chatter. A lot of these fractures are to do with the mind, which makes a lot of sense because if you can fracture the mind, you can cripple the body, you can hurt the emotions, all sorts of stuff. But it's I'm seeing it as a program or an implant, something that's just kind of encoded over the original blueprint that you can go in easily. I'm hearing it right now. Easily go in. It looks like an egg, like a blue robin's egg, almost like that kind of color of blue. But I know chickens can lay those kind of almost bluish green, kind of aqua colored eggs. I don't know if you can get a hold of an egg like that and do an egg cleanse with an aqua colored or like a greenish, like those pale aqua eggs, like a chicken egg. Usually if you get like farm raised eggs, you can find that color. Aqua, let's see. Or like a green chicken egg. I don't know exactly what kinds. There's different breeds, like the Easter egger. My sister has they call the Easter egger. She's got like 9 and 7. How many is that? 16 chickens. Yes. So there's like if you can get an Easter egger egg and do an egg cleanse. If you don't know how to do an egg cleanse, I can text you. But these are oh gosh, it's definitely not there we go. Kind of more these blue ones. See, some of these are more like a green and then brown and then more white. These kind of more pale blue. That's the color. If you can find an egg that color or as close to that color, if you can't find an egg that color, just get a white one, whatever. But do an egg cleanse because I'm seeing there's again, something put on the blueprint that you can, and that's why I think blueprint, blue egg. As close to blue of an egg as you can find. Specifically chicken, they're probably going to be your easiest to get a hold of anyway. To help, and it's something you can use because I'm pretty sure you have Pleiadian healer, shamanic self. That's her new name. You have her guide to do like the blueprint DNA. You know what I'm trying to say. The cleansing or clearing of your blueprint to do that. And then you can do an egg cleanse. Just, you can Google it, what an egg cleanse does, and just move it, all over, get all that negativity, any fractures that need to be returned to you or fractals that need to be returned to you, they're alchemized, transmuted, and then restored to their purity again. You can what I'm hearing is you can easily do this, Versha. It's not something you have to pay anyone to do or, oh my gosh, how do I even figure this out? You can easily do this yourself. It's not going to solve everything because, again, this peeling process takes what it takes, but you can definitely feel some benefits from it. Let's see. Let me catch up on comments. Okay, people Rayleen's group going through the same thing. Not in dreams, though. Oh, good question for Cosmic Question Corner. Yeah. Yeah, remember you dealt with animals in Lemuria, saving animals. Oh, right. I forgot about that. Oh my gosh. Man, oh man, the fact that you referenced Super Mario is wild, Amanda. My favorite game and character of all time. I just spoke about how my life is exactly like Super Mario. Okay, I have chills. I just say what I get. I'm no magical creature over here. I just say what I get, and that's that. Because spirit brings it through. But yeah, you're leveling up. Literal level up, level up, level up. Isn't that a Sierra song? Level up, level up, level up. I love it. Oh, Raylene removed that for 98 million people a few days ago. Was that the same thing? I'm wondering. Placed by Plutonian energy and 98 million people. Let's just see. Because I'm seeing there's maybe something else that may be related to that you can just go in and it's like a little cobweb. You just run your hand through it and it's gone. Energetically speaking. Because, do an egg cleanse if you can. And just that restoring the blueprint, walk through that with the shamanic self course. I'm pretty sure you have that. Let's just see. Anything else? Yeah, it's funny because it's like the Two of Daggers is like, okay, I'm still blind to something. So part of what she removed, this is connected to it, but there's still like a residual. Because what I'm seeing, weirdly enough, I'm seeing like a miscarriage, but like just a little bit of the placenta is still left in the uterus. So you continue to bleed and bleed and bleed until that placenta falls away from the uterine lining, and then the bleeding can complete. So it's like she got the big bulk of it, but there's just a tiny little bit of like placental tissue, energetically speaking, it's not literal, that's left. So you can go in and clear that. I always get a clarifier when I get the Two of Swords though. So let's see anything else Versha needs to know about this Two of Swords, this little bit of tissue left over. Okay. Yeah, this is the healing card. It's my internet card. It's my connections card, travel card. I'm really leaning into the healing of this card for this specific part of your question here though. Yeah, you're going to be able to heal this. Anything else? Closing out. Oh, Matrix and the DNA too. Yeah, the blueprint liberation. There you go. Yeah. And then 9 of Crystals, 9 of Pentacles. Your hard work is paying off, reaping what you sow, benefiting from your harvest. There you go. Your hard work will pay off. You go in, you do this egg cleanse, you restore the blueprint. You can even picture there's something with a blue egg in the blueprint that it doesn't belong there. It doesn't belong there. It's hijacked something. And if you think of it, chickens, much like humans and our cycles, have been hijacked to give an egg every single day, or at least, multiple times a week, most chickens. That's not normal. That's not natural. That's something that was put in place for the, big food, big agriculture, big, whatever animal agriculture is called. That's not normal for chickens to be giving that many eggs. It's a thing that I think they inject a hormone that makes the chickens do that so that they can commercialize an egg operation or a chicken operation. And it's much the same for you. This egg was placed on the DNA kind of almost to hijack a natural system or natural function that it does feel like Raylene removed it in a large part, but there's some residual something going here. Yeah, I am happy to work with energetic stuff now rather than physical stuff as it limits me. And hey, if you don't have that blue egg, just envision that. You don't even have to do a physical egg cleanse. A lot of people like the physical homework, so to speak, because it feels like you're actually doing something. But if you're good and you're cool with the physical, or sorry, the more energetic stuff, do it. You don't need anything physical. You don't need any physical tools. You are much like the magician. You can pick up the physical tools off the table, or you can leave them there because you're the freaking magician. You don't even need it. It could be helpful. It can be validating, but you don't even need it. Yeah. All right. Well, I hope that helps. Yeah. And even if you want to do an egg cleanse with the brown egg and you're just envisioning that it's getting that green egg, do what you need to do because your intention is what's going to set the precedent here for you. We'll do for sure. Use crystals and energy as well. There you go. Whatever you feel called to, do it. All right. So we have Michelle for full read. And so it says, what does this September have in store for me? Also, what's been on my mind is my friend suggested I smile and try to get my gym crush's attention, but I am nervous and the opportunity sometimes doesn't arise or feel right yet. Any advice, or will he approach me? Do you think he'll even be interested in getting to know me? Okay. All right. So let's just tune in first and foremost, because it's kind of two questions here as far as like what September have in store and then more kind of the gym crush smile, like what's that entail. So let's just start kind of like do 2 1-card pulls for this. And my 1 cards are never 1 card. So let's get into the energy of September for Michelle. Ooh, there's some healing here. And this could even be like healing from some strength training or something you're doing at the gym. You're just feeling really good. Getting into your body is going to be very important. There may even be some internet connection, or communication. It could even be texting back and forth with someone that's going to be beneficial to you. And it's funny because in the traditional depiction, there's a child sitting next to the woman, and then some guy is like steering the gondola or the boat. But in this depiction, I think they're trying to say she's holding a baby, but to me, it looks like a pear. Like the fruit, because I got a little stem. I know that's probably her shirt, like the crease of her shirt. But to me, it's almost reading like a fruit, a pear. I want to look up what the spiritual symbolism of a pear is. You could probably do that as homework, but I'm hearing it's very relevant to your month of September. Spiritual significance. I've been doing a lot of Googling today of a pair. Okay. Abundance, fertility, longevity, protection, and healing. Funny enough, this is a healing card, but I don't think they mean that to be a pair. Or do they? I don't know. That's what I think it looks like. But why would someone pairs don't come in that size? They do say women are pear shaped, or certain women like have a pear shape, apple shape, hourglass shape, all that. But yeah, I don't weird. So pear, okay. Pair, magical properties, rituals, uses, timeless connection to pairs, the spiritual world. Pear tree has long been a symbol of immortality, abundance, and sacred balance. Okay, that's and wealth and prosperity potentially, but we don't have to get into it. You can look additionally if you want, Michelle, about the significance of a pear. But let's just see anything else. But pears are also falling on my neighbor's tree into my yard right now. It's time to harvest pears. So there may be some abundance, some healing, reaping what you've sown. Again, it's a very big theme for a lot of people in September, just because of the growing season that we are currently, in, especially in the US and like, I guess, Northern hemisphere. It's kind of a time of harvest. And pear does feel very in alignment with harvesting, all that hard work you put into something, you're going to benefit. Reaping what you've sown, good karma coming back, bad karma coming back. But I'm seeing very positive vibes here. It's not bad, anything bad. It's really good stuff. And then we have the moon, which is very much about trusting your intuition. So this month, your intuition is going to be on point. And fun fact, we are going to be doing on Friday, God, I always forget the word, eclipse special, because we have an eclipse coming up on the 7th. Can't remember if it's lunar or solar to kick us off. I think it's lunar. I think. But we're going to be doing a whole special on that. That's going to kick off our next eclipse season. So that's happening the 7th. So we're having 2 eclipses this month, a solar and a lunar, or a lunar and a solar, whichever order they come in, on the 17th, and then 2 weeks later, the 14th. That's how eclipses work. So look at that. Yeah, I don't love comparing women to objects. However, our wombs are pear or avocado shaped. There you go. I like that. Yeah, they make it try to seem more like a triangle, but in reality, like the fallopian tubes aren't just perfectly aligned on the outside with the ovaries attached. Like they're kind of crammed in there between intestines and other stuff. Like they're not perfectly as the diagram would show you. You're absolutely right on that. And they always like compare babies or the fetus to like, you're the size of a grape, you're the size of an orange, you're the size of an avocado, whatever week you're in. But yes, you're definitely going to be, Michelle, very intuitive this month. Okay, so we have the most dualistic card here. We're going to figure out what this dualism of this card, what spectrum is Michelle experiencing this month. Okay, this is more about saving money instead of spending money. And because, on one end of the spectrum, this person does not want to let go of any money because they're like more of a miser, like I'm keeping everything I own and earn. On the other end is money's burning a hole in my pocket. I can't budget. I'm always out of money because I just can't stop spending it. I'm seeing you very nicely balanced more toward I'm saving, but not from this like lack mentality, but more from I want to invest this month more in emotional experiences, or again, Queen of Cups, hello, intuition on point. So intuitively, you may even be pulling away from spending money in certain areas or ways, maybe some sort of subscription or monthly bill that you're like, I don't really need this anymore. Let me save, $9.99 or $25.99 or, whatever it is you're spending, because it's just not really benefiting you to keep this subscription or bill or whatever it is going, that you're just pulling back, not because you're in a lack mentality in any way, but just because it's not really serving you. So why keep paying that is what's coming through. So that's September. Now let's get into the gym crush smiling at you, or you smiling at him, and just seeing where things go, and that part of your question. I'm probably going to read it again just so we have the full context here. Your friend suggested you try and smile at your to get your gym crush's attention, but I am nervous at the opportunity sometimes doesn't arise or feel right. Any advice? Will he approach me? Do you think he'll even be interested in getting to know me? Okay, so for the first part, again, kind of building on the last question we had about September, this is about you trusting your intuition, where you kind of were saying in your question that, sometimes the opportunity doesn't arise or it just doesn't feel right, trust that. Trust that, maybe he's just there. Maybe he's having a bad day and he's just out there to get his aggression out on his weights or his treadmill or whatever he's doing. And he doesn't want to be flirted with potentially. But then other times it may seem that, you're more open or whatever. And I see a scenario coming into my mind's eye right now as I'm like trying to say what I was saying. I was kind of like envisioning something like in my mind's eye. I'm not like looking into my, this is what I'm looking at. That's not giving me anything. I'm seeing a scenario where, maybe he's on a machine and there's that machine next to him is open. And even if that's not something you're working on that day, you go over there just because it's next to him, if that's a potential. Or it may be that he's doing that to you. And then maybe you have that opportunity to be like, oh, hi, and smile. And then maybe a conversation strikes up in that regard. That's what I'm seeing pretty clearly, is just being in proximity. Proximity will bring a natural vibe that you can, have an in, so to speak, rather than trying to do it from across the room. Because, yeah, but there's many scenarios that can play out here. That's not set in stone that it has to be that you have to go get on a machine next to him and you're like spending all day that you go to the gym every time, like waiting for that opportunity for a machine to open up next to him. I'm not saying it has to play out like that. It's just one small potential of ways that can happen. But it does feel like it's a very natural opportunity that you have. And it may not even be that you're planning it, but you just kind of glance over, you see that he's there, and then you see that the machine is open next to him, and you're like, golden opportunity. I mean, just, and it's just kind of courtesy, I guess. I mean, I haven't been to a gym since like high school as far as all that goes, but I do have a membership at the Y since March that I haven't used. We have a family pass down there that I've never used. I probably should do that, but it's like I would assume, I guess, that it's very normal that when someone stations up next to you, at least give them a wave or a smile or a how you doing, hi. You don't just, I mean, you can, because obviously a lot of people have probably earbuds in, or maybe if they're on the treadmill, they're watching something on an iPad or a phone or something potentially. But if their awareness is open and then someone crosses their path, it's just kind of human nature to say hi when you're in that close of proximity to someone, even if you're doing your own things. Even like passing, like my husband and I do a lot of walks while our kids are practicing whatever sport or whatever, or even just purposely going, like, let's go walk the track for a while. And as you pass someone, you give a little hi or hey, how's it going? Or, it's just kind of, I guess, a natural human instinct to say hi to people who are around you. I am drawn to him, but I want it to be authentic and reciprocal energy. If he's not interested, I wouldn't want to force it. Yeah. And again, going back to that intuition of the past question, you're going to feel intuitively, like if you do have an in to smile at him or wave or say, oh, hey, what's up? How you doing? He may be like, oh, I'm doing great. How are you? And then, maybe you're working out for a bit and then he asks you a question like, oh, I've seen you here before. Like, how long have you been coming here? Or, just something that's kind of like ice-breaking kind of question that doesn't really have any consequence if they answer one way or another, something like that. There's potential for an opportunity. I'm seeing this maybe closer to October. And remind me, I'm pretty sure you do have a birthday in October, earlier October, if I remember correctly. It may be around your solar return that this potential for an in to smile or say hi or, be closer in proximity to him at the gym opens up. But it does look like when he's at the gym, it's like he is kind of on a mission, like he's there to work out. He has been hit on at the gym. Funny enough, and it was someone who was just not his type at all, that he was still very cordial to them, but the vibe was given pretty quick that, yeah, I'm not into you, but hi, how are you? So if you're, if he does, you have that conversation or that smile or that hello or whatever, and you're not feeling that he's feeling it, you'll know. But if you are feeling that he's feeling it, you'll know, because your intuition is going to be very on, is what this feels like. Oh, yes, October 3rd. That's right. That's right. Let's go to the other part of the question here. Any advice? Let's just see any advice. I just keep hearing trust your intuition. Okay, this one slipped down. Okay. So this is slippery energy, meaning you're close to a breakthrough. So depending how actively you're putting yourself in his path, it could happen sooner rather than later. It looks like most likely because when he's at the gym, especially, it may be something he's seen on social media or just kind of a courtesy thing that he doesn't purposely go up and try to hit on chicks or get their number or say hi to them even while they're working out because he thinks that that would make him come across as a creep. But if a girl or a woman were to come up to him and say hi or how are you doing? Again, it's happened before and he's had to kind of politely decline with someone because they just were not his type. Like right out of the gate, he knew, yeah, this party isn't going anywhere. But it's not that he's closed to that or opposed to a woman coming up to him and striking up a conversation. But for the most part, you're going to be able to kind of read the room as far as his energy. If he's like looking like I'm like in the zone in my workout, he definitely doesn't want to be interrupted. But if he's kind of like, wiping his brow with a towel or walking from one machine to another, like there's transitionary times that he would be more open to being approached than if he's like mid bench press and some girls like, hey, how's it going? Reading the room, just intuitively feeling like now's the time, now's not the time. And you're going to be just fine in knowing when and when not to approach if that's the case. Okay. I even saw a scenario where maybe you're both going for the same machine at the same time. And then he's like, oh, you take it. It's fine. I'll go work on something else. And you're like, oh, are you sure? Thank you so much. Like potential. But again, there's not just one way that this is all shaking out. There are many potentials for this. Anything else Michelle needs to know before we close out? Advice, guidance, wisdom in potentially approaching this guy at the gym. We have wish fulfillment and recognition. This is a card of recognition. So he's definitely seen you around and he does like what he sees, but again, he doesn't want to be that creep. Could even have to do with just his personal life right now that he's it doesn't feel like he's in a connection, but there may still be feelings from someone from the past, but he's just maybe in his own head. Like when I met my husband, I was not looking for a relationship or not even like, oh, he's hot, he's cute. Like I was not looking. If a cute guy crossed my path, I wouldn't be like, oh God, get away from me. But like, context. So it's not like he's on the prowl, so to speak, but he's not, I guess, either opposed to it. But he's very mission driven when he gets to the gym. He wants to do what he needs to do and not be like bothered. So it's about that fine line of is he in transition? Is he in the middle of something? Not interrupting him in the middle of something. More transitionary times is going to be more beneficial. All right. I'll pull a card to see if he would be interested. Okay, let's put everything back. Well, he's definitely seen you, and there's an appreciation. With that star card coming out, there's an appreciation he has. Again, he's not trying to be sleazy or skeevy, like checking girls out as they're, he doesn't want to be that guy, which is very respectful. I love that. Yeah, and you want to be respectful. Yeah, and he's got that going on personally, and I just feel it. Yeah. Respectful to what he's got going on personally and just feel it out. Gotcha. Yes. All right. So how would he even be interested in Michelle? Let's tune in. Ooh. Of all the nights, it would be this one or the Knight of Cups. Those are both like, yeah, I'm interested. Hello. Knight of Swords could be more like I would be more than willing to strike up a conversation. Cups, Wands, Pentacles is the other like, oh, this, there's no like romantic connotation behind that, but there's definitely a romantic connotation behind the Knight of Wands. There's a pursuer energy here that you would be someone he would be interested in pursuing. He's just maybe not been inspired, I guess, at this moment to pursue you or anyone. But if inspired, that could kick off something that he's inspired to pursue you. There's definitely, this is a card of attraction for sure. This is a card of attraction. So he's definitely appreciates what he sees, but again, he's not wanting to be sleazy or go out of his way to try to ask anyone out right now. But as far as you're concerned, he definitely likes what he sees. So anything else Michelle needs to know about if he would be interested? Ooh, another Knight. So this is about pursuit or moving forward. And like I said, this is more about communication. So the fact you have two Knights, one about passion, one about communication, maybe the communication inspires the passion, right? But he would definitely be interested with the timing being good in pursuing something with you. But the timing, again, right now, right at this moment, like as of today, at I think you're on East Coast time, so like 3:15 p.m. on a Wednesday, September 3rd, 2025. He's not like said, "Oh, I'm gonna go pursue this girl I've seen at the gym." Like it's not on his radar. You have been on his radar as far as, well, she's cute, but I'm not here to oogle the girls. I'm here to get the gains or whatever he's doing. It's very personal to him that I'm here to build myself, not be shopping online or in person for ladies. But if the opportunity were to inspire him to move forward, he would not be opposed to it. Okay. And then we have a yes. Yes, he's interested. But again, he hasn't been inspired to be put into the pursuit role, but he's definitely noticed you. And if paths cross and intuition serves you to, be in proximity to him or smile or wave or say hi, or you're both going for the same machine or whatever the case may be, intuitively you'll know what to do or when to pull back or what have you. So I hope that helped. Yeah, he sounds like a good guy. So I'm looking forward to what maybe October brings. Yeah, it feels like it's building towards something. So you're definitely on a path right now. So yeah. And of course, you're going to the gym because you are interested in, the gains that you're getting from the gym or the, weight loss or whatever it is that you're building yourself up in some way. And that should still, what it's coming through is remain your main priority. And he's like a cherry on top of, oh, I got to see him today. It's not that reason you're going to the gym. And when you can stay in that, because a lot of times the opposite sex can tell when the only reason you're doing something is to pursue them, it'll push him, especially him as the masculine, his job is to pursue. So if he feels like there's any kind of pursuit coming on your end, an attraction or an affinity toward him is not the same as trying to pursue him. But he wants to be the one to pursue or to be inspired to pursue. You can inspire him to pursue, but he wants to be the one. He's not looking to be, 50-50 with some girl is coming across or to be asked out on a date. He wants to be the one to ask, but he needs to be inspired to ask is what it feels like. Or know that he's got the green light to ask so he doesn't come across as a creep asking some girl out at the gym. There's a fine line he's treading just for his own personal morals and values, really. Yes, thank you, Cherry on Top. I love that. Yeah, I just never like anyone, so he's got my interest. Oh, I love that. Very cool. Well, thanks again for your donation, Michelle, and I'm wishing you the best. That paths can cross and intuition can be on point and things can maybe spark off. You just never know. You just never know. But he's definitely potential to be inspired to pursue, at the very least. And he does appreciate what he sees if he does see you, but not in a creepy, sleazy, skeevy kind of way. It's very, oh wow, she's here. I think she's pretty, like that. It's not, oh yeah, like sleazy. It's not sleazy at all. It's very innocent and yes, I can admire what I see without becoming a creep. Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right, let's double check our list. I think we are up to date. Yes. Let me just refresh here. All right. Well, we have reached the end of the road today. If you're just joining us or have been here for a minute, we did do a Cosmic Question Corner question. That's a lot. Cosmic Question Corner question earlier today. And I did get another one to add, which I wrote down. I just need to add it to the right shape of paper so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb in the jar. But I will be adding this from Earthy Deva, Abraham Hicks, and the frequency of their work. What's the frequency of their work on? Just so we can tune in and see, where they're getting their information. If is it from the Matrix or beyond the Matrix? What's going on here? I think that's a great question because a lot of people do follow the teachings of Esther, Jerry, Abraham Hicks, that whole grouping there. Well, it's really a lady channeling a guy that she calls Abraham. And then her husband was involved in the whole thing, but I think he passed away some years ago. So I don't think he's really, maybe he's helping from beyond at this point. I don't know. I did have one book by them at some point, but I don't know if I even have that anymore. I don't know. I've never looked at, I did read part of that book. So that's about the extent of my knowledge on it. But yeah, that would be a great one to dive into and see what's going on. All right, you guys. Well, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks again so much for all those likes, comments, shares, subscribes, donations, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see each and every one of you right back here at Harmony Portal Tarot Live. We will be back here on Friday, September 5th at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Mark your calendars. I think we're going to be doing a free one card pull that day. Yeah, I think that's what's next on the agenda. So be here for a free one card pull. And it'll be at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. And of course, you have to be here for the free one card poll. I mean, if it's a collective reading, you can just join in. But fun fact, if you ever do miss the one card poll live stream, you can just say, okay, the third, fourth, or how, come up with a number in your head, person that gets a reading. I'll just kind of jump on energetically piggyback on that reading. You can do that. It's the same thing you could do with like book divination, or maybe you just scroll a little bit into the live stream, and if I'm doing one card pulls kind of early on, just take that as your message if you ever miss it. If you want to get in on it kind of retroactively, I think that's the way they put that. Yes, I love you guys, and I will be back. I already did my outro, so I'm just explaining things at this point. So I will see you next time. Bye.